Welcome back to Group F, everybody, the Nations Cup, and we have Team Czechia against Team UAE. First match, actually, from UAE today now. And it's a really interesting constellation that we have over here. Now, once again, as a reminder, we have 28 teams that started into the Nations Cup. We've had now games for quite some time, and we are slowly nearing the final few matches. We're currently in Group F, I believe I just said, right? So we're going to finish Group F out today, and then tomorrow I believe it's Group G that we're finishing off. And then we are done with the group stage. The first seed out of every group advances to the next phase of the tournament, and the second seed within all of these groups still has a shot of making it into the second phase as well by playing in the last chance qualifier that is coming after this. This is also going to be one of the last matches that we have with the best of 3 format. Once that we're moving into the last chance qualifier and the second phase of the tournament, we're going to have best of 5 matches on our hands. So then the rule that you can only play hero once within a series is also going to become a bit more impactful, at least theoretically, if we're making it into game number 4 or game number 5. Now for UAE, the interesting part is, which I actually didn't know, that this is their home server. So their home server is actually Europe. I honestly didn't really connect the dots there. They still have, of course, a ping disadvantage, so they don't have a home server that they can play on. But the best connection for them seems to be Europe, because I checked a couple of their accounts earlier, and they have between 15,000 and 10,000 games, roughly. So they've been used to that ping for a long time right now. They're clearly the underdog heading into this. Czechia too, they're the second seed from Czechia, obviously, but they are still the favorites here. And it's an interesting group just in general, because it is essentially just a 3-team group. This is the group where USA #1 was supposed to play with, you know, Cure and his boys, but they did not. Well, they basically forfeited their position. They kind of disbanded, and results might have played a role there. It could also have just been internal strife within the team. They looked to change the lineup a couple of times, but long story short, at the end of the day, they decided they won't participate here, which is a little bit of a shame. When we had our last Nations Cup, when we were doing an offline final in Berlin, they were actually the runner-up, so they came in second place at that event. But right now, they are not presented in the tournament. We have one team from the USA. It's a bit of an underdog team. We're going to get to them at some point, of course, too. But right now, we got Czechia going up against Team UAE. And, well, we get Hogger, Chromie, and Brightwing for the red team. Whereas over on the left side, it's Team Blondie for now. So we get Anduin and we get Johanna. Roughly the same hair. No, not really the same haircut. And we get Ophia. Alright. Oh, and Gaslow! Statements are being made here. It's the Gaslord on Infernal Shrines, everybody. Okay. So with Ophia, if you get a good Gaslow grabber bomb and then some stuns through, maybe even a Blessed Shield and Condemn, you can get a lot of value out of the Eternal Feast. So we'll see if they're trying to go for the Wombo here. But I want to see some action with this. So this is a nice start into the draft, as the red team picks up Lunara and Arthas. Not really the most engage-heavy tank. Howling Blast and the Aura give him, of course, quite the presence on Infernal Shrines. But, well, you get the Gaslord in the game. Oh, it's Goblin time. Let's see what he's going to do. I'm waiting for the Wombo. Ooh, the VP setup. They're setting it up with a Void Prisoner as well. Okay, let's see if they can actually put all these pieces together. We have game number 1 coming up, everybody. Team Czechia is going up against Team UAE. Time to party! Czechia and Team UAE, ladies and gentlemen. Over on the left side for the Czech team. I mean, check him out over here. Master on Johanna. We got PX36 on Orphea. Cremator is playing Anduin. Mitten on the Gaslord. And we got Manwe on Zeratul. Over on the right side, Team UAE with MHD on Brightwing. We got Lordiel on Chromie. Not to be mixed up with the Finnish band Lordi that won the Eurovision contest. We actually talked about that. So, yep. Long time ago. SOG on Hogger. We got Kaiser on Arthas. And Hopper is hopping along on Lunara in this game. So, yep. Let's have a look there. It was kind of funny when I saw Lordiel, because it just somehow triggered Eurovision in my head. And I honestly despise Eurovision. Oh my god, I absolutely hate it. It's really, really popular in Spain, and I think some of the finals, or regional finals at least, were also, or are pretty much always in the area around Valencia. And I hate it. Everybody's watching it, and I can feel my brain cells dying whenever I accidentally tune in or somebody around me watches this, I do not know why that appeals to people. I really don't get it. I feel like you either hate it or you love it, and I am definitely in the hated camp. So yeah, it is just, oh, kill me now. If you want to ever get any information from me and want to torture me, that's the way you do it. You know, you keep my eyes open with some of these eye clamps, and you just put me in a seat in front of a TV or 2-3 TVs, and you just blast it into my face and ears the entire time. I will tell you anything. Anything you want and more. I'll tell you things you never wanted to know in your life, pictures you can't get out of your mind. Just make it stop, please. But yeah, either way, in our first game for Team UAE, let's see how this is going to work out now. When it comes to level 1 talents, we have actually a move unseen here for Zeratul. So already a couple of adaptations being made. Now, realistically, when you are looking at this group, we have Poland 1 in the group, Czechia, we have UAE, and we have, again, the USA team that forfeited their position. So it's essentially a 3-team group. And Poland 1 is poised to be the team that wins the entire group. Anything else would be insanity. If the first seed from Poland wouldn't make it in this group, this would be beyond crazy. So right now, Poland 1 has already won the match against Czechia. They're going to play against Team UAE later, and this is going to be their last match in this group. But the assumption, and it's a fairly realistic one, is that the Polish team will take the first seed, which would automatically mean that this match right here would immediately then decide which team takes second place. So this could be a really important one. This is kind of early in the group, but because of the situation that we have with the USA team dropping out, this is a super important one. So whoever takes this has a very, very good chance of ending up in the second seed and the second position, second place of the group. And as we all know, that means that you have your place in the last chance qualifier that can still allow you to move on to the second phase of the tournament. So just a little bit of a side note here, so you actually know what's at stake with this. I'm still expecting some wombo attempts by the blue team and see if this is going to play out for them. When it comes to Arthurs, we're now having the Frost Presence on level 1 locked in and Deathlord on level 4. So it seems like a bit more sustained through the Death Coil build is very likely going to come through for him. Obviously for Jojo, Subdue on level 4, nothing crazy here. But with that, we now have topside, our first shrine active. And there's first blood. Chromie gets attacked quickly. Zeratul moving in and getting a quick kill. Arthur's trying to walk them down. And there's the counter. Anduin is dead. Nobody tried to stay on the mid and the bot lane to get experience for level 7. Now we're fighting out of 4 versus 4. And the UAE team is starting to pull ahead here in points. They're getting the points on the shrine. They're getting those shrine minions. Lunara with lots of damage so far. Arthur's is a little bit low on the other hand. Brightwing trying to come in for some heals. Choke point control. Nicely done. Whoa, big damage. Big damage from Lunara. And already was... Oh! The suicide move from Zeratul. He was tired of living like this. Tired of paying taxes to the government. And just decided to end it all. Check this out. Zeratul just says, it's not worth it anymore. I'm done here. Moves in. He moves into the shot. I mean, honestly, at that point, your team should just endlessly grieve you. Yeah, and that is the first Punisher in the game. Arcane Punisher for Team UAE. So, there's Gaslow in trouble. He's eliminated. Master is low, and that is another kill. The red team with some actual momentum now. 4 kills to 1. For a second or two, it looked like maybe Team Czechia would lose another hero. Oh my god, now they lose another one here. They had a chance in that fight, by the way, to kill a few too, but kind of missed it. And now we have that mega attack right there. 5 kills to 1, 1 level advantage. Brutal aggression that we're getting from Team UAE here. I mean, honestly, they are demolishing the blue team faster than Tadej Pogačar takes down Evenepoel on a climb. That's ridiculous. So, yeah, 5 kills to 1. Let's see if the blue team can recover here. Master down at the bottom of the map, soloing the waves as we have Hoga trying to go for a couple of camps. But this is getting a little bit bonkers. That first fight, I did not expect that to be so crazy. That was something. And they're closing on level 10 now, as we just saw level 8 kick in for the blue team. So Storm Talon advantage is what we are gonna get. And boy, it's gonna be massive. I want to see if this changes on level 10. I talked a little bit about the Wombo potential for the blue team, and I want to see if they can actually unleash that. But now they're trying to fight before level 10 is ready. I think they mistimed this though. Level 10 is going to be there any moment. There it is. Heroic abilities are ready. Here comes Syndragosa, and you don't want to be here if you're Czechia. They're losing Johanna way too quickly. Syndragosa, that's a kill, that's a triple, that's a quad kill. It's total annihilation. They're going through them like hot butter through cheese, and it is brutal. Harper is getting pinged by the team, and boy, oh boy, are they crushing things right now. What a fight there at the bottom of the map. Czechia taking a risk and being fully punished as a result. Ridiculous. They were hoping to finish that fight before level 10 was ready for the red team, but they were a little bit too late on that. So now they have to mitigate a 2.5 level advantage, which is crazy. And again, Team UAE is playing with the ping disadvantage. Yes, they're used to it. This is their home server. They have all more than 10,000 games on their accounts. But still, they are playing with the ping disadvantage. And now they're murdering Orphea, so she's gone. And it's just crazy. I mean, damn. There's absolutely nothing that Czechia can do currently. They're getting steamrolled because they do not have heroic abilities. So right now, finally level 10 is locked in. We get, as expected, at least the Crushing Jaws. And here is the Gravo Bomb. Actually, I didn't really expect Crushing Jaws. I honestly thought they were trying to go for Eternal Feast and combo that off with some stuns from Jojo, Condemn, Gaslow, also getting the Gravo Bomb in, which is the case. But instead, we're just getting them all in a zone and then the Jaws instead. So that can obviously work quite nicely as well. You can execute a really good wombo with it too. Question is always which would have been the stronger one. Level 13 talents are inevitable for the red team. They're trying to go for Hogger. They're really trying hard here, but not enough to get that kill. Zeratul is getting a little bit annoying, but also needs to be careful. And the problem is, Shrine's up at the bot lane. So Shrine is already up over here, and the red team is on point. I think at this point, if you're the blue team, you just gotta fight this. I really am not sure if it's the right choice to simply sit back. Yes, you do not have a level 13 talent. Totally understand. But I think you gotta bite that bullet. They're already too late. They're trying to go for Hogger in the middle, and they get some damage out. But it's 10 kills to 1 now. And can you realistically expect to go and draw even on talents? I don't think so. Unless the red team really screws up, I think that ship has sailed. Maybe around level 16, just before Team UAE gets to 20. But, boy, that's 5 levels that you gotta soak until you're there. So I'm not so sure. That's a lot that you have to give up in the process. So right now, they're getting some attacks out. Obviously, Punishers don't jump the wall anymore, so it's all happening in front. The red team moved into the middle and destroyed another fort, so that's the second one gone, and are now starting to orientate themselves towards the top lane to try and do the same thing there. 16,000 damage for Chromie. We got Lunara on 13k, with Orphea being top damage on the blue team, and in the game actually. Not that it really matters too much. And they are beelining for the camp at the bottom of the map, straight through the opponent's vision, by the way. So the red team is fully aware where they are right now. They know. I mean, they weren't trying to hide it or anything. So Hogger with the attack. This is a 4 versus 2, by the way. And yeah, Brightwing is helping out at the top now, leaving Hogger all alone at the bottom of the map. So we get a trade of a mercenary camp against a fort. Not quite sure if I actually agree with that choice. And SOG is just annoying the hell out of them. So yeah, you gotta give the red team some credit here. They are in full control of the game currently. And Team Czechia, they can obviously try and bring this back, but they really need to have a good team fight. They need to unleash some of those combos. Yeah, there's the Gravo Bomb hitting absolutely nothing. And instead, Anduin is gone. Anduin is eliminated. So yeah, the Zeratul also dead. Zeratul is gone, and that is just disaster. Disaster. They're going in for the next kill. Lunara hopping in with one attack after another, and that is now 13 kills to 1. We're essentially talking a 3-level gap between the two teams here. Team UAE with some absolute monstrous damage output currently. Level 16 talents are kicking in. That gives us also Embrace Death. And with that big lead that they are now running here, they can do a lot if they just want to siege up. We got the overcharge capacitors in the meantime for Gaslow. But, I mean, honestly, at this point, hope is a little bit lost here. We'll see what the blue team can do, but they are very much so relying now on them getting a really nice team fight. They got a single kill so far, and that's just simply not enough. Damage gap, big part obviously is the hero experience. Sorry, the XP gap, I mean. Big part is the hero experience, but also on mercenary experience, minion experience, passive experience. I mean, every single category you look at right now, the red team is ahead. The blue team could, I don't know, maybe soak some of these lanes a bit more successfully. There might be a chance for them. Hogger, utterly unimpressed, is moving out too now. And yeah, that's the next shrine up at the top lane. So with level 16 talents in their hands, that is going to be a huge advantage for Team UAE. And I'm coming back to the point that I made earlier. What's the plan now? I would have honestly fought this with level 10 versus level 13 talents early on. Team Czechia decided against it. And now, what are they going to do? I guess they're going to wait until level 16, but they've already lost every single fort that they have. They're now slowly moving towards the top, so maybe we're going to get a shot here after all for them. But they got to do something. And I honestly, again, compare this to the 13 versus 10 fight. That would have been so much better than 16 against 13. But, well, they're coming in. There's the Wombo! Maybe now! Oh, a work of art! Oh my god, beautiful! That's exactly what they need. Here's the answer. That's the play that they needed the entire time. Yep, that's how you do it. That choke point, condemn, grab a bomb, stun, and then bam, lock him down and take him apart. The Wombo finally playing out. Huge chunk in experience for them, and they're closing the gap a little bit. Now they're going to get a Punisher, defeating the mercenary camps too, but this is exactly what they needed. The entire time we've been waiting for it. We've been talking about potential level 10 Wombos, and now they're coming in. They locked one in, and that instantly allowed them to bring this back a little bit. They need to take structures down right now, of course, so they need to start pushing this. But this is the way back into the game. Winning team fights exactly through plays like this one. And let's see how much they can do. They're a bit late to the party with pushing here. I'm honestly not a fan of how Czechia is playing this out. Once they had the Punisher, they needed to push for the wall immediately instead of playing around with their own mercenary camp over on the left side. I understand Gaslow moving back and taking down the opponent's mercenary camp, but they shouldn't have wasted any time on anything else. Just push, take the wall down, and then go for the fort. Now they have a chance of getting a hit in. Arthur's in trouble, and he gets killed. Nice. Arthur's is gone. Zeratul with some damage is too far in tower range and gets killed by the tower, but they take the fort out at least. The fort is gone. They can now start the retreat here. Still need to deal with the bot lane too. Hogger apparently wants to get a bit more aggressive as he's pushing in pretty deep. Brightwing, ooh, jumps out, but yep, they gotta retreat slowly. There's no fort here though, but they are able to get out now. 5 kills, 214. So they're starting to make a couple of plays, but we also have still this camp active at the bottom of the map. So on the macro side, I gotta still say Czechia could have done this a little bit better. They picked up an additional kill though. Lost Zeratul, but they took a fort out. So they're making some headway trying to get back into the game. The big elephant in the room is, of course, that level 20 talent that will still kick in so much faster for Team UAE. But at least now, you know, they have some tools to work with. And they are, for the time being, on even talents with the opponent. But 20 will be there for Team UAE, and I think we can reasonably expect at least one objective, while the red team has level 20 talents and the blue team doesn't. So that's the problem here. Now, let's see how they work this out. 34,000 damage now. Blue team, a bit more aggressive. For, again, very good reason. You want to be aggressive right now. You want to start focusing fights before level 16 is there. But the window is quickly closing. And then the red team will be very, very happy to try and go for an engage. They're already trying. Yeah, Zeratul in trouble and gets pulled out by Anduin a little bit too late. Zeratul with 6 deaths already. That was not a good pick for them at all. Zeratul was a bad choice for them, and here comes the attack. Chromie is dead. Anduin is gone. Oh, UAE nearly lost 2 heroes immediately, but they got the triple kill. They're taking down 3, which means that we have now a 1-4-3 trade here. 18 to 16. Big fights happening in the game now. But the level 20 advantage, of course, huge now for UAE. 18 kills to 6. And, yeah. It's actually kind of wild that you're looking at the game right now and you have to openly admit that the problem was the Zeratul pick and not so much the Gazlo pick. But Zeratul is getting punished way too hard whenever he tries to make the engage. Fia is the only one that is currently still alive. 4 seconds for Zeratul. But the red team wants to go for the core. They're going to get damage in for sure. The question is, can they actually take this entire thing down? I'm not so sure. Because, again, yes, there is a lot of damage available, especially with Lunara, who's already backing off. Hogga apparently didn't get the memo that they would retreat, so he gets taken down. And that's 18 kills to 7 now. Alright. 1 level until 20, but it's a 5 versus 4, and Czechia has to take that. Czechia has to take that. Gazlo is defending the... Okay, he's not defending the bot lane, but the catapult gets taken down. There's still this wave coming up at the top. 40 seconds for Hogga to come back, but the blue team needs to be quicker there. They need to take this. Their core is at 52%. They lost too much ground. They should, honestly, while there's nobody here from the red team, they should send somebody maybe down to the bot lane for extra experience. They need the XP here as well. They need to do something. They need to get to level 20. It's going to be a big one for them right now, to try and get to that point. Mid lane also has to be taken out, so there's a lot of fires that they have to extinguish if they want to have a shot here. They're going to win the objective, but they need the experience. And I think it's a little bit of a mistake that they are taking the Punisher right away. They should have kept it at 39 and then just tried to defeat the mid lane first, which is now Gazlo's job, and the bot lane. That would have given them level 20 as well, and they could have pushed a bit more aggressively. Now Hogga is back, and they have to be very careful with the 4 heroes that still decide to push. So this push will be shut down. So they should fall back here. They will get level 20, they have it now, but they need to get Gazlo back, and they need to defend. Why are you still here? There's nothing to win here anymore. Shush! Back to base. For the red team, they still have a fair amount of map control. So now it is, at least in talents, very even. We now have Blinded by Light for Jojo. We have, in addition to that, also the Inner Fire, and we're getting the Twilight Falls. Gazlo with a bomb toss. And it's UAE again that is in control as they're roaming the map and looking for opportunities. Also having, of course, the access to the camp. And it's the Admiral Akbar move. That's a trap! And Jojo, is she gonna fall for it? Here comes Chromie with the ult. And it's Anduin that's in trouble! And the Crybaby is down! Anduin is gone. Here's the Grabo Bomb, but not enough damage. With Anduin gone, they don't have the sustain anymore. Hogga spiraling out of control here. Gets nearly killed, but survives. That's 2 down, 3 down. They're going for the rest, and Czechia is going to be eliminated here. Team UAE, they can successfully check off game number 1 from the list. And, well, that's a solid victory for them. 22 kills against 7, so nicely done. Ending it with a 5-man team wipe. And that is it. Team UAE with a victory on Infernal Shrines in the lead in the best of 3 series. Nicely done. Congratulations. Well played and GG. I hope all of you guys are enjoying the Nations Cup. We have an epic event on hand right now, and it's tons of fun. But please keep in mind that events like the Nations Cup, like Meta Madness, the Bounty Cup, and many other tournaments that we've been running on the channel here to support Heroes Esports are only possible through either private supporters or campaigns that we have with partners on the channel. And right now, we have a campaign going on where you can support the channel for free and with a minimum of investor time. All that you gotta do is download Opera GX, which is a browser that has an integrated VPN, has tons of themes and other features that are directly targeted at gamers. But if you download the browser through the link below and install it, maybe watch a video too on YouTube, watch a live stream, or just play around with it a little bit, that already is enough to support the channel here. I would really appreciate if you could take a few minutes of your time to do exactly that. As I said before, it's absolutely free, doesn't cost you anything, and I've actually seen quite a few people that then even switched over because they prefer the browser to others. Be it as it may, if you want to support the channel, there's an easy way to do it. So thank you very much in advance and enjoy the rest of the show today. Game number 2. Well, we're going to Towers of Doom, and Team Czechia got their butts kicked in game number 1. So, I gotta say, this was a little bit of a surprise to me. I did not think... I mean, honestly, it wasn't really that much of a surprise that Team UAE wins. I had no real expectation as to who would win it, but I seriously expected this to be a lot closer than it was. Team UAE came in swinging, and there were 1 or 2 glimmers of hope where Czechia won team fights. Could have probably exploited the aftermath a little bit better, but they were already too far behind and clearly struggling to get a foothold in the game. Given the Gaslow pick in the first game of a series, and then also the Zeratul pick that didn't quite work out for them, I'm honestly wondering a bit if they maybe underestimated their opponents here. I'm really guessing. I honestly do not know, but like this seemed from a draft perspective in some of the situations a bit like they said like, okay, we probably got this. And I am not sure if they expected the red team to be this strong. So we'll see how game number 2 works out, but obviously this is a best of 3 series. As I said, it is very, very likely that the team that wins this best of 3 takes the 2nd seed within the group. So Czechia has to throw everything they have now against UAE here if they want to have a shot. All the heroes that were played on the first map cannot be played again, so those are already out. That's good news for Zeratul, because again, doesn't have to go up against Chromie anymore. That suicide at the top lane when Zeratul just said like, okay, I'm safe here, let's walk into danger. That was glorious. That was at that point you could already guess that things are not really going the way that they wanted to. So, yeah. Nezebo as a first pick. Alright, boys. I'm ready for it. First pick Nezebo. Talk about draft priorities. And then a Nubarak and Li Ming against that. Okay. Give me all the frogs. So, we get Nezebo first pick. Opting for the late game already. And very curious what the rest of the draft is going to bring. If they're starting with that, is it going to be going full crazy? Or is it just going to be one of those games where they really want a Nezebo and they're building now a normal draft around him? Now we get Garrosh. And we get Ana. Nano boosted Nezebo. Oh boy. The pain is real. The pain is absolutely real. Team UAE is coming in with some real brutal stuff. And for the red team, I mean, again, we're talking bans here, but them going Nubarak and Li Ming, so they're definitely going to try and dive and then get the damage connected. Dehaka and Falstad both, all the globals actually bad. Brightwing is already gone because she was played in game number 1. And now, right, we have Falstad, Deathwing, and Dehaka banned out. So no real global presence available anymore, unless you want to go Vikings or hunt Illidan. Basically are already out of options, and I would assume that we're not gonna get any of those. No side laners yet either. With the Nubarak taking the banning out Stukov, so they're a bit worried about this engage with the Stukov lurking arm. Again, you can play that with Varian, you can play it with the Nubarak, but they are a bit weary of sniper comms. You could still play that with Malfurion if you wanted to. Huh? Wait, what now? Are we getting Smash? We might be getting Smash. Please tell me we're not getting Wind Blades. Please, no Meme Blades. This is a Smash build, right? Smash Varian? Who is soaking top and mid for them? Thrall and Greyman on the other side. I mean, I'm not really too hot on the Thrall pick either, considering that Leo is available and a lot of others. Okay, there we got our side laner. So we got our side laner with D.Va, so she's going to be the one rotating between top and middle. Against Thrall, I guess. I would like a little bit more wave clear for the red team on that position. But they go double Orc at the front line. And I guess we're going for map number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Towers of Doom, second map in the series. Off we go. Map number 2. Things are a little bit wild over here. On the left, we got Master on Nubarak. We got PX36 on Li Ming. Cremator on Lucio. Manuel on Varian. Very interesting. Very likely that we're going to get Smash. I really hope we're not going to get Wind Blades, because that would be disastrous for them. I hope they are trying to win. And Mitten on Diva for the team, opting into full metal on level 1. Over on the right side, though, with Nezebo first pick for Lordiel and Pandemic, we now get MHD on Ana for an extra nano boost. We got SOG on Greymane, Hopper on Thrall, and then Kaiser playing Garrosh for the team in the lead. Maelstrom weapon on level 1, but Team UAE is in the lead, and this is a super important series for the two teams in the group. And we'll see if maybe Czechia can force game number 3, or if Team UAE is now coming back here. On level 1, we get Lions Maw. I was still thinking about potentially them going for Taunt, but I still don't really think so. There's always obviously this thing where if you are a Plastic League player, they're like, well, they have no damage. But it's all a question of how you coordinate your attacks. If you coordinate them well, you can do a lot with the triple front line, and they could then theoretically also go for Taunt. They would still be a bit on the weak side with Lucio on the support team, but still, they could do some work with Li Ming and try and really just tee her up. I highly doubt it, though. There will be a bit more damage coming out of them, and that's very likely coming from Varian. But time will tell. Level 4, and we're going to get a bit of an idea. On level 1, we get now Force Armor for Li Ming. Thrall is starting to get some stacks together, and Nezebo's job will be to stack to Vile Infection, of course. One of the main reasons that they went for him. And again, a reminder, they picked him first pick. So they really wanted Nezebo on Towers of Doom and wanted to make that happen. And, yeah, we'll see. Nezebo's starting to stack. Also, Thrall is stacking against Diva actually quite well. He's at 8 stacks already, so it's not too bad. There's a lot actually very early in the game, so let's see how they continue with this. A little bit of a flip into the zombie ball of Nezebo, and it nearly costs Nubarak his life. Varian now also moving through as the 4-man is still attacking at the bottom of the map. Thrall is starting to move in. I mean, he really wants to mirror Diva as best as possible, because as I said previously, if he can stack quickly, that would be absolutely amazing. So yeah, that would be pretty cool if they can actually do this here. 25 stacks, what he needs first, and then the 55, oof, that's where it starts to get spicy. It's Taunt! They actually go Taunt! Alright, so they have a lot of CC now. They have a Nubarak, they have a Taunt behind it. This can... I mean, again, I'm not really a massive fan of this, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here thinking like, oh my god, this is ingenious. I would love for them to have some side laners that do a bit more damage. I would love for them to have Thrall, for example. But they don't. So they have to really coordinate the attacks well. The CC is great, but they need to first of all get real damage out with Li Ming. I suppose it's likely that she's also going into Glass Cannon. And then the rest of the team has to coordinate on the same target properly, or it's going to be tricky to get your kills. Now, a long drawn-out game kind of favors the red team, given that they have a lot of heroes that scale with their talents well into the late game. So, let's see. For now, we're having down at the bottom... Thrall has 12 stacks already. Has really good 3 minutes in. So top right, top left are currently being exchanged. Nezebo is trying to interrupt, and does. So the interrupt is there. Diva has to boost around a bit, as the blue team is still fighting for the third one at the bottom of the map. And Thrall is easily getting himself some added stacks at the top. There's the taunt. Where's the follow-up? We need more stuns. They're coming a little bit too late. Damage is kicking in. Diva is still fighting this out at the top. Bit in trouble. Down here, it's Garrosh that might have a problem. The shots get fired. Yeah, well, can they go to the top left? Lordiel needs to be interrupted. Where's Lucio when you need him? Interrupt! And they get it. Yeah. Nezebo gone. Diva escapes, and now it seems like Czechia can lock in 2 out of the 3. So it actually works for them. They got a kill, and they get the shots fired. Right now, early game, things still work. I'm a little bit terrified, though, of what's going on here with Thrall. I really am. Because Thrall in a late game situation is an absolute monster with stacks, and just look at this. He's at 28 stacks. That's the first quest reward already unleashed on the Maelstrom weapon. And if this pace continues, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that he at a minimum is going to get to 55. Maybe even Mythic reward. But the 55 alone is huge. And on top of that, we now have Nezebo at 47 stacks. So I have some troubles with this. We're getting Zay's Vengeance, full orb build right now for Li Ming. And, well, again, they have a lot of CC. Could get the kills. But I am looking at that Thrall at the top lane, just getting his stacks in, and I am terrified. I am absolutely terrified here for the blue team. So UAE, I think the game is going quite well for them. The longer this lasts, the better. Garrosh is creating a little bit of space. They've lost 2 of the altars early, but still, right now, body blocking is putting Varian into trouble. But he's fine and can easily move out here, so not too big of a problem for him. And now at the top, Thrall still looking totally fine. 34 stacks for him, 57 for Nazeebo, and here comes the vertical spawn for the double altar. So off we go. Got a couple of shots fired through here. There is a lead in experience for Team Czechia, so this is good news. They've been doing better soaking the lanes. If they can translate that into an early level 10 and then play the advantage out on the next objective, that would be great for them. Down at the bottom of the map, yeah, there's a bit of space created for Greymane, and he gets the channel for free. Greymane gets the channel, 4 shots fired, and now they have to try to at least get 1 at the top. 40 stacks for Thrall. I'm sorry, I'm really harping on this, I know, but this is terrifying to me. Thrall's damage output is already absurd, and now if he gets to the second quest reward this quickly, you might even see the mythical reward, and then you're absolutely roasted. And he's not the only one that's stacking over here. You have Nazeebo in the late game as well with even more Ana boosting. So, yeah, that's now 46 stacks. Guys, we're only 6 minutes in! This is crazy! Czechia is starting to have real issues here too. They're looking for a kill, can't get it. Instead, they're losing a Nubarak. D.Va is coming in, aims for another interrupt, and gets a kill on Garrosh. Nice! D.Va with a counter kill now. Li Ming looking for some good angles. She wants the resets, of course, and can always fire away as long as she still has mana here. But that counter kill was important. They have half a level until level 10. Even just stalling this out might work for them. Mana, on the other hand, could become a problem, so she needs to be careful. Greymane attacked, taunted for just a second. Li Ming is really the one that should not go in channel. She's needed for damage. You can't have your own damage, the only damage dealer that attacks from range, channel the altar. You need someone else that does all of that. So, yeah. 50 stacks for Thrall. I think they're screwed. I really think they're screwed. Czechia needs to show me something here in order to make this happen. Finally, a kill. Take Nazeebo down. Great. But there's the channel. And that is 4 shots fired against the blue team. Now they have level 10. Disintegrate also taken. Alright, alright. So disintegrate or build. We have the bunny hop ready, and we're getting cocoon. With level 10 aggression, maybe they can do something, but as I already said, Thrall is looking great. Thrall is about to complete his quest. He's already the top damage dealer in the game, by a margin, by the way. 22,000 for him, 8,000 ahead of anyone else, and now he's unleashing his second quest reward in a moment. So this is where it gets really, really dangerous. And I can totally see him get to 100, which is nasty. But here comes the cocoon. They take the camp away, so that's already good news. They're at least able to steal that. Thrall indeed now has a second quest reward, so that means that now we're talking about movement speed and an additional 75 attack damage. The good news for the blue team is that they are starting to take down Nazeebo a little bit more reliably. So this is the second time that the Witch Doctor has fallen, slowing down his stacking, even though he's at 81 on the baseline. But he's definitely struggling with his level 1 a bit more. Thrall hasn't taken his ult yet. I personally would expect Sundering, looking at the aggression that we've seen from them so far. But again, both possible. We've seen both used here. And still rotating and stacking against D.Va whenever possible. Double altar, the top left, top right. So now, very likely, an even exchange in altars from the two teams. D.Va is still holding on to experience for them. And they still maintain their lead in XP. So the blue team is ahead in that sense. I'm just worried about the kills in the next few fights. Right now, Czechia is ahead on kill counts in experience, and they are going for Garrosh again. And there's the taunt. They nearly got the kill. Barely missing out on it. Greymane, on the other hand, gets stunned. No way! And escapes. They're really unlucky. At this point, they're just really unlucky. That is just bad news. So interrupts are coming. They're getting a bit too greedy for my liking. They haven't even taken their own yet. Big hits against Ana. Damn, Li Ming! But the problem is that Nubarak is the first one to fall. Ana nearly getting killed. Greymane barely surviving. Problem for Czechia is they just don't get the kills right now. I like the aggression. I like the plays. But there's still this little bit of damage that is missing that would allow them to get those kills in. And I honestly think it's not necessarily a question of the draft itself. Again, I personally would have made different choices. We talked about this earlier. But I think even in this fight, there was a bit of a coordination problem. Garrosh, they might have been able to take him down. Ooh, and now Li Ming. Yeah, that's 4 against Li Ming. Good luck. So she's trying to get out. Does not have a wave of force, which is a problem. It's just playing around cooldowns at this point. Greymane wants her. Gets over and is able to escape. Alright, Li Ming is able to escape, at least initially. And then Thrall says hello and gets mad damage in. 66 stacks for him. There's the explosion. D.Va is just putting an end to it quickly. And Garrosh is like, yeah, I'm having none of this. Varian realizes that he has an easy chance of going for the cap now. So that is value. It's not the value that they were looking for, but it is some value. Oh my god. And as I already mentioned before, we now have glass cannon. So yeah. Oh ho ho ho! By Greymane. Come on guys, this time you gotta kill him. He makes it out again. Oh, unbelievable. Yeah, Li Ming with glass cannon does not like Nazeebo at all. So there they dive in again. Taunt is ready. So they have a shot here. Nazeebo! Greymane gets taunted too late. Garrosh comes in for the save and Lucio is gone. 4 kills to 4 and Team UAE has nearly closed the gap. Thrall, again, side laning the entire time. He's at 34,000 damage right now. So yeah, he is having an absolute field day here. Single altar up on the map. Lucio not here. Li Ming! She is vulnerable, again. Went full glass cannon on this one. Has decent damage, but now they lose another altar. Shots are fired, and that means that the blue team is now down to 20 points on their core. So, huge problem here. But Thrall, stack, 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 stack. Hit after hit is coming here. And I think we are going to see him complete his mythic reward. That's very likely what's going to happen. 139 stacks for Nazeebo. That late game is a problem. And Team Czechia is starting... Again, it's starting to flip against them. They're already behind in core points. But in experience, they're barely ahead. That gap has not been closed yet. But it looks like it's soon going to happen. Again, combo attempts here. Looking for approaches. Looking maybe for a taunt. And they are just not working those kills anymore. They were going for this weird triple front line with Varian and Nuburak. Lots of CC, but it's not quite working out. They're trying to go for Thrall now. Maybe a shot here, but he still has Sundering. And the team is instantly ready to help him out. Team UAE with a lot of good coordination, I gotta say. So, they are coordinating this really well. The communication on their end is solid. You can always tell that they're trying to rescue anybody that is in trouble quickly. So they have a good read on the situations that are happening. Now we got the triple altar phase coming up. Not a single bell tower has been claimed yet by one of the teams. It's been continuously a 4 versus 4 situation in the game. But now with the triple altar phase, teams could pull ahead. And we have, of course, level 16 talents. A little bit faster for the blue team still. Especially now as D.Va is taking more control over the top. Greymane now here. Thrall down at the bottom of the map. 16 ready for both of them. That gives us also more orb with the Arcane Orbit right now. I mean, they're going all in on that build. All in on it. Nazeebo is also getting closer and closer to his own quest reward, or well, to this threshold for level 20. Yep, and there's the channel. So 2 out of the 3 altars go to the team in blue. Team in red, which means that's now 12 points to 24. They need kills! They need to do something. Sundering is out. Cocoon has been used too. They need to be able to take some down. Boss has been activated and is participating in the fight. Gary the Gargantuan is nearly gone. Quest is completed. Li Ming is still poking. But there's too many heals. And they're not able to get any kills in. By now we have Nazeebo nearly done. He needs 1 more minion wave. And then he has the threshold for Violent Infection on 20. That's of course going to still take 4 levels until we're there, but that's already bad news for them. And Garrosh is still getting aggressive, the red team is looking for fights, and the blue team is struggling to get any kills. Maybe now an opportunity here. They're trying to body block on Garrosh. Big hits! And it's Lucio that falls. Nuburak dies second. Thrall is getting more hits together. And now at 84 stacks, And of course the damage that comes with it, 46,000, still top damage in the game. And that, by the way, is with him also side laning a lot throughout all of this. So he's not been continuously part of this 4-man to participate in battles, has been side laning a lot and then trying to move in. And now they're coming down here with big damage through the toads against structures and try to take one of the bell towers. Team UAE, they want the 2-0 victory. They want to have a shot to get second place, maybe even first place, who knows, in this group. But they're looking great now. They take the bell tower. It's a 5 versus 3 situation now. More shots fired against D.Va. And Czechia to the second seed from Czechia. They're slowly starting to fall apart here. It's not that big of a disaster just yet, but it's another 5 shots fired, and that means single digits on the blue team's core. Down to 7 points, and the leading experience now also goes to Team UAE. Thrall gets attacked again, gets his Sundering out, and starts to rotate away from this. Yeah, maybe a shot here now. Alright, Thrall coming back. Tries to go again for D.Va. Gets some damage in. Gets some additional stacks. We're seeing also Lucio once more in trouble. And Barak! And they just can't get these kills. Nano boosted Nazeebo. Now with extra damage and extra work here. Thrall coming in at 90 stacks as he is hitting them hard. Garrosh looking for more kills. Trying to set up another one for the team. And they're trying to go for D.Va. Push all of them past the gate. And especially Lucio needs to be careful. I mean, dude, if you get hit by one of those lightnings from Thrall now, you're just going to be toast. 200 stacks for Nazeebo. They're one level away from level 20. And then we have the attack at the top, of course, too, which means that Team UAE is going to take another bell tower. So they're going to be sitting at 6-2, which is nearly one-shotting the core if another altar gets taken. Li Ming with the over-the-wall attempt to take the minions out. That didn't work. And this is just too much to handle. Team UAE is a 1-level lead now. Thrall is fighting to get the mythic reward completed. I'm not sure he can. The game might be over before it happens. He would be the first Thrall player in a tournament that completes his mythic reward. And again, we're talking strictly tournaments here. But yeah, he would be the first one to hit that. So we'll see. Right now, it looks questionable because this is going to be 6 shots fired if he channels it through. If he was part of the fight, I would be a bit more confident that he can complete it. But he is the one that is dedicated to channel the top right. So not a lot of aggression from him. Only against the Nubarak. Gets one hit in. Come on, dude. You can do it. 94. 94 stacks and gets good cooned. Master is trying to rob us of the experience. Is he going to be the first? Nazeebo gets killed. Li Ming trying to delay the game a little bit. I can appreciate that. Thrall again. Come on, Wind Fury, dude. No, don't run away. There's 3 of them. Take him down. You can kill them all. What are you doing? Auto attack. Come on, right-click that crap. You can do it. I believe in you. 97. Li Ming down and Thrall. This is so... do it fast for the team. Where's that cooler when you need it? 99, and it's done! Thrall completes the quest. Now we're having the big resilience for him. 1 point on the core. The channel has already happened just in time. Totally useless at the end of the day, but hey, it still counts. They are able to take it. A 2-0 victory for Team UAE. GG.